if you're going to create your future self, which is a kick-ass, strong, healthy, powerful person, right? Well, in order to get there and to maintain that, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to do that by eating at the crap end of the food spectrum all the time. All right, everybody, Dr. Del Miller is here, and welcome to another episode of Energize Your Life After 50. Hope you are doing well. You know, it is almost Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. That would be next week. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. I really do appreciate you, and I hope you have lots to be thankful for this year. We are almost at the end of the year. So at the very least, I hope you have accomplished some things this year. You know, one of the things I was talking with my coaching clients about is what they have accomplished over the year. You know, their big wins. And, some of my clients have had some significant wins. You know, I've had a number of clients who have lost close to 50 pounds this year since the beginning of the year. And more importantly, what they have said to me is that I am a completely new person. See, that's the most important thing. It's not the weight loss. It's when someone says to me, I am a completely new person. It's like, that is significant because you see, in 1 year, you can create a completely new person because what we focus on is creating your future self. Who is it that you are becoming? Who is the person that you're becoming? All right, so when you start there and you start to focus on creating your future self, adopting the mindset, habits, and behaviors of that future self so that you can start being your future self now. Start practicing those habits now. I call them non-negotiable habits and guardrail habits. And that's what my clients practice so that they're able to start embodying that future self and start being that future self now so that they're acting from their future self as opposed to their past or current self that they're working on changing, right? So they're becoming. They're not just working on becoming, they're being. They're being their future self now. Because you start to practice those habits and mindset of your future self, you're being your future self now. And it's just a matter of time. Success is doing small things consistently over time, right? So you start practicing these habits over time, and you start to be that person that you're practice being. So that is the process. That's how it goes. So I hope you're doing well. And before I get ahead of myself, just want to remind you of all the wonderful resources that I have available for you. You can get on the phone with me for a health strategy call. A one-on-one conversation. We'll sit down and talk about, what is it you are trying to accomplish? And how do you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be? How do you get across that invisible bridge that is standing in the way of you getting to where you want to be, the goals you have set for yourself? And we'll talk about them, right? And we'll also talk about who's this future self that you're creating? Who are you becoming? And who are you being right now? And why? Why is it all important to you? So anyway, just an idea of what's available to you. All the details are in the show notes. You can just click on a link and that will take you to a page you can sign up, get to my schedule and sign up for a time to talk with me personally, one-on-one. My free webinar is also available. Get Your Sexy Back. Right? You can sign up for my webinar. Hundreds of people have gone through my webinar. It's been one of my most popular webinars ever. I've been doing it for the past couple of years, and it's been very popular. So why not check it out? I've got other videos and other goodies. Top 3 things you must do to lose weight for the last time. My weight loss made easy program. Lots of information for you. Lots of free resources for you. So that if you are trying to change your body, if you're trying to create that future self, that person you're becoming, that person you want to be, there is no excuse. You have lots of resources available to you. If you don't know where to start, well, keep listening to this podcast. Go back to some of the beginning episodes and listen to the podcast, because every episode is a lesson that I have taught my coaching clients. Every episode of this podcast is a lesson that I have taught my coaching clients, right? So you're getting free coaching just by tuning into this podcast. So why don't you subscribe so you'll get notified when I upload new episodes? And leave me a rating, please. Leave me a 5-star rating, because I think I'm worth it. I try my best to give you valuable insights that will help you to change your life, right? I am not just into chatter just to hear myself talk. Every episode of this podcast is something that I have discussed with a client. That's how I get the ideas for these episodes. It's something I've gone through with a client. So that's why I'm sharing it with you, okay? So you're getting it for free. You're getting what other people are paying lots of money for. If you want it one-on-one, well, you can sign up to be part of my Weight Loss Made Easy program, or you can do a private coaching program with me. Today, we are going to talk about the fact that what got you here won't get you there, wherever there is. And again, this was a conversation I just had with a client this morning, right? What got you here won't get you there. And that's important to understand. How are you going to get there? You know, I don't know what you have done so far. I don't know what your goals are, but if you've been working on creating that future self, chances are, well, you know why it's important to you, and you have a vision of that future self, or you have a future vision that you're working towards. And by the way, you start now. It's the holiday season, and a lot of people like to put things off. Well, I'll start in a year. Well, why? You're going to be eating, so you might as well start working on your eating habits now. You've got a body, you might as well start working on your body habits now. You're going to sleep, you might as well start working on your sleeping habits, right? You might as well start working on your movement habits. You might as well start working on how you deal with stress. Why put it off? Every day is an opportunity to start practicing the habits of your future self. And you're doing things that don't overwhelm your life. They aren't going to throw your life upside down. That's why I tell people, well, you start before you're ready. You start now. And in one of my future episodes, the topic will be start before you're ready, because a lot of people just keep saying, I'm not ready to start. Well, start before you're bloody ready, which is now. Because now is always the perfect time to start, right? Anyway, we were talking this morning about what got you here won't get you there. Because, you know, when I work with my clients, we talk about the fact that one of the central principles of weight loss, for those of you who are trying to lose weight, don't focus on what you eat, right? We focus on why you eat. Start by focusing on why you eat, because that's very important. And it's important because a lot of us eat for more reasons than the one reason that we should be eating, and that is physical hunger. Most of us don't eat because we're physically hungry. We eat for other emotional reasons and other a lot of other reasons. Okay, we're not going to go into that. I've talked about that before, so check the other episodes, or we'll talk about it some other time. So we focus on, well, why do you eat? And how do you get rid of all the non-physical hunger eating? And when you do that, you realize that, oh my God, I can cut out a whole lot of food, a whole lot of eating out of my day just by addressing the reasons why I'm eating that is not due to physical hunger, right? So we start there. And my client has been working on that, and she's now at the point where I said, well, you know, after we deal with why you eat, the why you eat is just one rung on that ladder to your success. But we have all these other habits of your future self that we need to practice and learn to master those habits, right? So don't get stuck at the why. She's kind of been stuck at the why, focusing on the why you eat and really getting that down. And she's got that down. And I said, well, this is a time to start addressing the what you eat, right? Eventually, you're going to have to address the what you eat if you're going to successfully lose weight and keep it off, because it's much easier to keep the weight off if you learn to eat from what I call the greener end of the food spectrum. I introduce the food spectrum to my class. There are no good foods or bad food. They're just degrees of nutritiously dense food or not, right? At the greener end of the food spectrum, you have your whole foods with your highly nutritiously dense foods, whole foods from nature, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, that kind of thing, lean proteins, that kind of stuff. And then at the opposite end, you have what I call your crap, your completely refined, artificially produced products that are made in a factory that are almost devoid of nutritional content, but they taste good. And I don't tell my clients not to eat them because we don't deprive ourselves of anything. However, if you're going to create your future self, which is a kick-ass, strong, healthy, powerful person, right? If you're going to create that body that you look good naked and you feel sexy, well, in order to get there and to maintain that, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to do that by eating at the crap end of the food spectrum all the time. Are you feeling me? And by crap, I'm not suggesting that all this stuff that you don't eat. I'm just saying it's completely refined, artificially produced products, meaning they're devoid of nutrition because they're produced in a factory to appeal to your taste buds, to taste good, but not to nourish your body in any way. So if you're looking to create a body that is going to last, if you're looking to lose weight and keep that weight off, well, one of the ways that you're going to have to do that is you're going to have to create a healthier body. In order to sustain weight loss, well, you need to create a healthier body, period. If you don't, well, your weight loss is not going to be sustainable because a healthy body is a better fat-burning body. Anybody can lose weight by going on a diet and cutting calories, but it doesn't mean that you're changing your internal physiology. You need to change your internal physiology if you're going to maintain the results that you get. Or it will be a hell of a lot easier to maintain if you change the internal physiology of your body, right? I call this physiological adaptation. You're going to have to achieve physiological adaptation in order to maintain your success over the long term. So that's what we do. And in order to create physiological adaptation, well, you need to retrain your taste bud. You need to create new tastes, which means you need to visit the greener end of the food spectrum. You need to eat more whole foods. And my client, well, she's been in the habit of eating a lot of processed foods. She likes the bagels and the biscuits and all of that stuff, a lot of processed stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with eating that stuff. If you learn to eat when you're physically hungry and learn to identify when you've had enough, yes, you can lose weight by doing that. But is that a great long-term strategy? No. It's not a great long-term strategy because you're not building health. You're not creating physiological adaptation. You're not changing the physiology of your body in any significant ways. And we're going to need to do that. So the important thing, the lesson here that we discuss, and the lesson for you, is that what got you here, wherever here is, wherever you are right now, what got you here isn't going to get you where you want to be, right? If you've gotten here, if you've lost weight by cutting calories or by, you've focused on why you're eating and you've cut out some of the non-hunger reasons why you're eating, great, and you've lost some weight, well, you've got to take that. Whatever you're doing, you've got to take it to the next level. Whatever you're doing, you've got to take it to the next level. I was talking with another client and she was in a pickle and she said, you called me right on time because I was so depressed from, being at this weight loss plateau. I lost some weight. She lost some weight on my program. It's just, I was so depressed from being at this weight loss plateau. I was about to emotionally eat. You see what happens? Because she got into that stinking thinking, right? Depression comes about from your thinking. She got into that stinking thing. She got into that, oh my God, I haven't lost any more weight. Oh my God, I am at a plateau. And that is what takes you down that road of, well, where you don't want to be. It takes you to Shitsville, right? You don't want to be in Shitsville. It's like you've got to love the plateaus. A plateau is a natural thing. It is part of the process. You love the process. A plateau is a part of the process. You lose 10 pounds, you're probably going to hit a plateau. You lose 20 pounds, you're probably going to hit a plateau. It's a natural thing. You're not going to burst through the plateau by getting depressed and start eating again, right? Start eating to quench your emotional tirade. That is not going to take you where you want to go. So the way to go there is, well, we look at, okay, well, you got to get out of that stinking thinking. You feel, the way you feel is based on what you're thinking. Well, what are you thinking? Well, you're thinking that I shouldn't be here. You're thinking that, oh, I should be losing more weight. You're thinking that, oh, I should this, I should that. And, well, you are in charge of what you're thinking. So let's work on changing your thought process. Let's work on changing your thought process to, oh, I have lost 10 pounds. I have done great. Celebrate your small wins. And the question to ask yourself is, well, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to take what I'm doing to the next level? You see the difference here? What do I need to do to take what I'm doing to the next level? Well, this is forward thinking. This is taking me where I want to go. Oh my God, I haven't lost any more weight. I'm at a plateau. Oh, I feel so shitty. Well, you see where that takes you? You're thinking that, oh my God, I should be losing more weight. I am not. I am never going to lose any more weight. And that puts you down a path to spiral downward. That puts you down a path to emotional eating. And that does not serve you. So you see where all this stems from your thinking. The way you feel comes from how you're thinking. So you learn to get out of that stinking thinking, right? So folks, what got you here won't get you there. You're going to hit a plateau, and you're going to learn to deal with that plateau. In my program, that's one of the things I teach my clients. So I referred my client back to, well, we have a module on dealing with the plateaus. Well, how do you deal with the plateaus? Because they are a natural part of your journey. When you're climbing a mountain, you are going to hit plateaus, right? It's never going to be straight up. You're going to come to some plateaus where you can rest and catch your breath and kind of check out the vista and enjoy the journey and look out on how far you have traveled so far and see how much you have to go. Well, it's a time for introspection. That's what the plateaus are for. It's a time to get you to rethink your process. It's a good time. Plateaus are good. They get you to think. They get you to reevaluate that what got you here isn't going to get you there. Guess what? You're going to have to up-level what you're doing. You're going to have to recommit to the basics. You're going to have to get more committed, get more consistent. You may have been taking things for granted that you shouldn't be taking for granted. You're going to have to reevaluate and get back to the basics. That's what plateaus are for. So my friends, what got you here won't get you there. Right? In order to get there, you're either going to have to change some things up, or you're going to have to up-level your game. You're going to have to take what you're doing to the next level. That's important. If you want to get better, well, you have to up-level. You have to be better. To get better, you have to be better. Right? You have to get more committed. I was just having this conversation with my daughters. They're so into volleyball. And I'm like, okay, well, you've come a long way. You're good. But do you want to stay at being good? Do you want to become excellent? Right? There's a difference between good and excellent. And the only difference between good and excellent is you got to put the work in. You put the work in. The person who's excellent, well, they've put such amount of work in. Right? They've hit more balls than you have. Well, to bridge that gap, you got to hit more balls. To go from excellent to great, well, same thing. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the road work. You got to put in the hours. That is all it takes. It takes dedication. That is what it takes to get there. So if you want to get to where you're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to up-level what you're doing. So here's an important question for you as you think about where you are and where you're going. Ask yourself, what do I need to do to get to the next level? What do I need to do to get to the next level? That's a very, very important question, and one you should be asking yourself quite often, okay? All right, that's all I've got for you. I'm Dr. Del Millers with personalfitness.com. Remember all the resources I've got for you in the show notes. Check out the show notes. Leave me a review and a 5-star rating. I certainly would appreciate it. And as usual, until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Catch you next time. Happy Thanksgiving, folks.